Hey everyone, welcome to part 31 of this trophy guide for Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster. This is also part 15 of the Suikoden 2 guide, and we're over halfway done with the game. I want to thank you all for coming along on this journey with me, and I want to give a special thank you to all of the channel members who help to support the channel. Now without further ado, let's dive right into it. Picking up where we left off last time, we're going to go around the counter and we want to talk to Sir Humphrey, who's over on the right side of the screen. Did you not leave already? We'll say, there's something I'm worried about. I see. Where did Kent get off to? He isn't at home either. I guess we'll have to wait till tomorrow. And now we're going to head over toward the left. We're going to return to the person who's the innkeeper, and we're going to talk to her. You're staying another night? My, it looks like you've taken to our little village. Rest well. When we wake up in the morning, we're going to head back downstairs. We've got trouble. Kent, it's Kent. His mom says he never came home last night. He's not the type of boy to run away from home. That guy there was talking to him. It was just a rumor. A rumor? Kent just couldn't stop talking about dragons, so I told him someone saw one at Rakutei Mountain. Rakutei Mountain? But that area is crawling with dreadful creatures. Why would he... This is my fault. I told Kent about how he lost Black. I promised him a ride on a dragon, and now he's in danger. Let's go. Huh? You want to save your friend, right? Of course. I'll come along to pay you back for the lodging. Huh? Who are you? This is Mr. Mike, Sir Humphrey's new friend. Sir Humphrey has friends? Thanks for your help, Commander Mike. We'd better hurry. Rakutei Mountain is north of this village. Don't get lost. Humphrey has joined the party. We have to add him to the party for the next section, so we're going to choose to remove either Zamza or Clive at this point. I'll get rid of Clive, and we're going to say yes. And then Futch has joined the party as well. We also have to add him to the party, so I'm going to remove Zamza. The exact person that you replace with each character doesn't really matter so long as we end up with the same people in the end. And then we're going to choose our formation. We want to move Humphrey up to the front row because he's very good as a short-range character, and then Futch is in the back row. We then also want to move Luke to the back row because he's got low defense and he's still able to attack effectively with his runes. We just don't need him as a physical attacker. So we've got Humphrey, Wakaba, and the main character in the front row with the other characters in the back row. Once the party formation is all set up, let's go ahead and leave the inn, and then we have to exit the town. You can run either toward the left side of the screen or the right side. Both will take you out of town. Once we're out on the world map, we're going to start working our way up toward the north to our next destination. So start walking up toward the top of the screen. Along the way, you might get into some enemy encounters. You can either run away or do what I would recommend, and that is to fight the enemies here. Humphrey and Futch do not have the ability to equip any orbs or runes right now, so we're just going to have them do normal attacks. Wakaba can use her White Tiger rune, and the main character Nanami can use their Unite attack. Now look at the difference in the amount of damage these characters will take from the same attack. The main character takes 66 damage, but when Humphrey is attacked with the same type of attack, it's only 2 damage. Humphrey has amazing defense, and we definitely want him to take as many attacks as possible because he takes almost no damage from physical attacks from the enemies. Unfortunately, Futch does not provide us with any sort of special benefits at this point. He's just kind of along for the ride. Also, his level and Humphrey's level are a little bit lower than what the other party members are, so they're going to gain more experience at the beginning part, but eventually they'll pretty much catch up to everyone else by the time we're done with the next section. So we're going to keep heading north and keep going straight ahead until we get into the Rakutei Mountain area, and then we'll keep going up until we get a cutscene. Commander, please be careful. I sense monsters hiding everywhere. Hold on, Kent. We're coming to save you. Dismissed. What the heck? We'll never make it now. If we don't move fast, Kent may end up... This is some kind of magic. What should we do? Black, please help me, Black. The mist! The mist is receding! Did you do that, Commander? A rune's power, eh? Let's keep moving. Let's keep running straight ahead for a couple screens until we get up to the first intersection that we come to. So once we reach that first intersection, head over toward the left side first to grab an item. Here's our first enemy encounter against some spiker enemies. We've seen something like this before. These guys can either attack one target directly or a whole row of targets. So obviously we want them just to attack one person at a time instead of 3 people. Pretty much through this whole area, we're just going to have Humphrey and Futch do their normal attacks. We'll have Wakaba use her white tiger rune, and the main character is going to team up with Nanami for that family attack. We should be able to take out multiple enemies per round just with this, and it shouldn't take too long to beat the enemies. For the most part, Luke isn't going to do a whole lot because he's not able to do physical attacks, and we don't want to waste his runes because we have a boss coming up. This first treasure chest contains a fur cape. It's definitely a good upgrade to some of our defensive accessories, so I'm going to go ahead and throw that onto the main character. I'm going to replace this leather cape with the guard ring that we picked up earlier, and then I'm also going to replace his medicine that he has with the fur cape that we just picked up. And this is going to definitely increase his defense, which is very important because we have him in the front row and he needs to be able to take some physical attacks. After that, we'll head back to that first intersection and then go over toward the right-hand side. At the next intersection, keep going toward the right to grab another treasure chest with a Thunder Runner. That's just an item that we can use to attack the enemy. Now we're going to head up into the next area, and at this intersection, we're going to head over toward the right side. Eventually, this path will take us into a new screen with a treasure chest. But on the way there, I got into a fight with some of these assassins. These guys can be pretty nasty because they've got a physical attack against one party member, or they can attack a party member that has a 5% chance of dealing instant death and a 15% chance of poisoning someone. So obviously, we want to take care of these guys as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, I believe that these guys are immune to instant death with Luke's Finger of Death attack. However, we are able to use his Pale Gate rune in order to use the other level 1 attack called Open Gate, and it does some pretty good damage by summoning a 9-tailed fox. And then, of course, we're going to keep having Wakaba use her White Tiger rune, and we're going to have the main character Nanami use their Unite attacks, while Humphrey and Futch are going to use their physical attacks. All in all, it wasn't a terrible fight, but those guys can also come in groups of 6, and that can be pretty nasty, so be on your guard. We're going to keep heading over toward the right to go into a new area, and there's a treasure chest at the end of the path, and inside of it is going to be a lightning amulet, another good accessory for us. Now let's head back the way that we came to go to the previous area. We'll keep following the path along until we get back to the intersection, and at this point we're going to head toward the upper left. Here we get into a fight against some pixie enemies. They're not too bad, especially with our current setup. We can probably take them out in just this first turn, but be careful because they do have a 50% chance of inflicting the mini status on you that makes you very small and reduces your combat effectiveness. These enemies can also show up alongside of the spiker enemies. That was the first enemy encounter that I showed you in this area, so there are kind of combinations of enemy groups as well that you need to watch out for. Alright, at this intersection we're going to head over toward the left and we're going to take that up into a new area. We'll proceed forward until we get to the next intersection. We'll go left and we're going to loop around and grab this treasure chest. Inside of it is going to be a stone of power. Now let's go back the way we came to that first intersection, and then we're going to head over toward the right. Let's keep following the path up toward the top of the screen and go into a new area. We'll go forward a little bit and then over toward the right. Stick toward the bottom of the screen here as you follow the path, and you're going to get down to where another treasure chest is. Let's open it up, and inside we're going to get Unicorn Plans number 2. Now we'll go over toward the left, and at this intersection we're going to head up toward the top and then over toward the right. We'll keep going out the side of the screen and then keep following the path along until we get to yet another treasure chest. Inside we're going to get the skill ring. Let's open up our menu and we can go to equipment, and then we're going to focus on Humphrey right now. We're going to remove these gauntlets that he has, and we're going to give him a leather cape. And then we're going to switch out these boots. We've got a couple options here. We did pick up the lightning amulet, to which will give us +9 defense and +15 hit, and we'll also get lightning resistance. Or we can use the skill ring to give +9 defense and +20 dexterity. I'm going to go with the skill ring for him. They provide the same defensive bonus, so it doesn't really matter, and if you wanted to throw the other one that you didn't choose onto either Wakaba or the main character because they're in the front row, feel free to do that just to boost their defense up a little bit. We're going to head back to the previous screen and then go north at the first intersection and then go toward the upper right side. This will get us another treasure chest with a medicine orb. Now we're going to proceed back to that intersection and go over toward the left side. We're going to stick toward the upper path for now, and that's going to take us to a treasure chest that contains Dragon Plans number 2. We'll proceed back toward the right and go down the path this time, and when we get down here we can see a treasure chest that we're going to open up, and inside of it is 2,000 potch. Now we're going to make our way back up toward the top and then over toward the right, and then we're going to keep going straight over toward the right to exit out the right side of the screen. We're coming up on the area with the boss fight, so before we go any further, we're just going to run around in this area and we're going to look for another enemy encounter that can give us a very special item, and it's going to be these guys, the Hawkman. These guys aren't super difficult. We've seen enemies like this in the past, so we're going to use the same tactic, the White Tiger Rune, the Unite attack, and then we're also going to have the Finger of Death ability from Luke to try to eliminate these guys as fast as possible, and that's because they can actually swoop in and remove a character from battle, which means that we might not be able to finish off all the enemies on that first round. We just want to get rid of them as quickly as possible because when people are ejected from battle like that, they're not going to gain any experience. Now the special item that we get from these guys is Turtle Plans number 3. We've collected enough plans in order to get the trophy later on, but just for completion's sake, I'm showing where to get this one. These enemies will eventually be replaced by different enemies, but those new enemies later on will still be able to drop Turtle Plans number 3. Again, you don't need to farm this out if you don't want to, but it's good to gain a few more levels before the boss fight. At this point, I'm at level 37 or 38 with all of my party members, and I think that that's a really good spot to be able to survive this next boss fight. Once you're ready for that boss fight, then proceed on up toward the top of the screen a couple times until you can see the Traveler's Orb on the left. Make sure that your health is good, and then go over and save the game because we have a boss fight just ahead of us. So once the game is saved, then proceed on up toward the top and you'll get a cutscene and the fight. Kent, I see him over there! Wait. And now we have a boss fight against Harpy. On hard mode, it has 8,880 HP and no weaknesses that we can exploit. The fight overall is pretty straightforward. We're going to do basically the same thing that we've done this whole time, except we're going to have Luke start using his very powerful runes. We got a couple options here. If you go with the Pale Gate rune, you can use Empty World to do tons of damage, but you're going to take damage to all of your allies. That's a little bit risky because Harpy is able to do lots of damage to our whole party, so it might be safer to use the Black Shadow ability to do less damage, but we're also not going to take any damage ourselves. Then, of course, we're going to use our Unite attack between the main character Nanami, and then we're going to have Wakaba also use her White Tiger rune and hopefully not go off balance because there's a 50% chance that she'll be off balance the next turn, and hopefully that just doesn't happen to us so we can keep fighting and doing lots of damage. The Harpy utilizes a combination of physical attacks and wind-based magic. The Harpy can use a kicking attack with its talons, hopefully hitting Humphrey because it doesn't do a whole lot of damage, or it can swoop in and grab a character with both claws, pick them up in the air, and drop them. That's going to do a little bit more damage to some party members, but again, it doesn't hurt Humphrey as much, so pray that it hits Humphrey instead. But it can also use some very strong magic where it sends 2 tornadoes across the ground and hits all the party members. During the first round of combat, Luke used his only level 4 abilities, so now we're going to focus on level 3 abilities like the Pale Palace, and that's going to be his summoning magic that can do lots of damage. We're looking at between 700 and 800 damage every time Luke gets to attack. The amount of damage that we can do per round is pretty dependent on whether or not we're off balance or not. We know that every time that we use the Unite attack between the main character and Nanami, Nanami will be off balance the next turn. That gives us a couple options. We can either do a normal attack with our main character, or we can heal up our party member with his rune. And then we have to make sure that Wakaba isn't getting knocked over too much either. Hopefully she stays up, but if she goes off balance, that means that she gets to take a break the next turn as well. Most of the strategy of this fight is just making sure that our party members don't get too low on health. Everyone right now is right around half health, and that's a little bit scary because if we do get attacked a couple times with that party-based magic, we're going to be in some serious trouble. But if we take just one attack, we should be okay. The danger comes in who Harpy is going to attack with a physical attack. Luckily, she targeted Humphrey, and I only take 1 damage from that attack. So I'm totally fine even if the enemy is going to attack our entire party. In fact, at this point, I'm kind of hoping that she will attack my entire party because that's going to set me up pretty nicely for my next round. And I was very happy to see that, yes, she does attack the whole party, everyone survives, but we got some people with pretty low health at this point. But that's okay though, because I'm going to be able to get all that health back thanks to our main character's rune. When our main character uses the Bright Shield Rune's Battle Oath ability, not only will we get all of our health back at this point, but we're also going to get a 50% chance of our characters becoming angry. And when characters are angry, they're going to do more damage. So at this point, I'm going to get all of my health back, and then we're going to see who becomes angry and will do more damage for the rest of the battle. And it looks like my entire front row now has a new anger status effect, so we'll be looking at doing more damage. And this anger does carry over to the Unite attack that we're doing with the main character and Nanami, so we can look at doing much more damage going forward as well, which is very nice for us. Also, Wakaba does lots of damage, and she's going to do even more damage now because she's also angry. We're not getting a whole lot of damage out of Humphrey though, so even though he's angry, it's not like a big game changer for us. Well, I think it's about time that we finish up this battle. We'll have Humphrey do a normal attack, Wakaba will still use her White Tiger rune, and we'll get a Unite attack out of our main character and Nanami. But Luke is now out of level 3 magic, so we're just going to look at our options here for level 2 magic, and the best thing that we have available to us is the Darkness Rune's Stealer of Souls attack. It does 300 damage to one enemy, and it also heals us. Luke's at full health right now though, so we're not going to get any benefit out of that. However, we're still able to do lots of damage, and if we were injured, then we get some health back, which is pretty handy for sustainability. Harpy now gets to attack and completely misses our main character and does connect with Wakaba, doing a little bit of damage, but nothing that we have to worry about. She's going to retaliate with her turn and take out Harpy, and that's going to win the fight. And there you have it, there's another hard mode boss defeated pretty easily. For defeating the Harpy, everyone got lots of experience and gained a level up, so now everyone is level 38 or 39, and we also got 40,000 Potch. You came to save me, Futch? You should have known better, Kent. There's no dragons here. There never were. That rumor was complete nonsense. But what if it wasn't? Besides, if I had a friend who was a Dragon Knight, I could brag to everyone. That's not a good... And I heard it! The dragon roar everyone else talked about! It's real, and it's just above here! That's why I came all this way! Well, until I tripped and twisted my ankle. But it's better now. There, you see? How did you manage to get here? Look, it's black scale, the charm Futch gave to me. When I prayed to it, the mist lifted. So there must be a dragon here. Black scale, that explains earlier. But what's important is that you're safe. Let's go home. No, Futch, I said I heard a dragon's roar. Last night there was the sound of wings beating super loud and then a roar that could split stone. It was just ahead. There might be a dragon right there. Let's go see, Futch. Don't be stupid. There's no way a dragon could be here. And even if there is... But what if there is? I still don't... Let's go see. Commander Mike, will you join us a bit longer? There's no dragon here. Come on, hurry up, Futch! Now let's keep going up toward the top of the screen until we get another cutscene. That's... I knew it! It's an egg! A dragon egg! It has to be! But they only lay their eggs at Dragon's Den. Then what's that? There's no other egg that looks like that. With this, you could be a real Dragon Knight again. A dragon egg. Commander Joshua of the Dragon Knight spoke of this to me once. Though dragons normally only lay eggs in the Dragon's Den, every so often a wild dragon appears. If we could find out why, we could probably obtain new dragons. I was headed to the one temple in Crystal Valley to try to learn more, but I never expected to find answers in a place like this. Quickly, come over here, Futch! Come on! But... Look at it, Futch! It's your new dragon! No. I don't need a dragon. Sir Humphrey, Commander Matador, and you, Kent. You've all been so nice and concerned about me, hoping to help me become a Dragon Knight again, that I couldn't bring myself to tell you. I don't want to ride any dragon besides Black. He was the only one for me. I guess it's true. Once you go black, you never go back. Then if you have no need for the egg or the beast to sleep inside, I'll use my sword to destroy it. Why? Yeah, why would you ever do that? Dragon pups are weak creatures. With no mother or knight to care for it, this pup will waste away and die. And if it were to live without a master, it would be no more than a monster that terrorizes humans. See, Futch? That's why you need to care for it. Stop him! Stop him, Futch! Come on! Come on, mister! You gotta do something! It's a dragon egg! After all we went through! Wait, Sir Humphrey. Is this a dragon? It's so little. Futch? I've never seen such a small dragon, nor heard of one that it is white. But it's still a dragon, right? Yeah, it has to be. Don't you think so, Futch? But I don't want. Then why stop me? Taking a new dragon isn't a betrayal. It's touching that your heart mourns Black's death, and there is no need to let go of those memories. But it is also no reason to close off your future. Futch. There's nothing to be afraid of. Come here. From this day forth, you are bright. Thank you, Commander. I would like to repay you someday. If we can ever be of assistance, you have but to ask. Will you fight alongside us? Of course. For you, I will gladly wield this sword again. I, Futch, former 9th rank Dragon Knight, will fight by your side. Fight hard, Futch! Don't worry about me, Kent. Hey, the next time we meet, I'm sure I'll be a Dragon Knight again. Really? Don't forget your promise, then. I won't. Okay. Oh no, I almost forgot. Here's Black Scale. Thanks for letting me borrow it. No, you hold on to it, as a token of my promise. Really? Are you sure? Wow, I'll treasure it, and I'll look forward to the day you come with your dragon. You do that. I swear that I will return as a Dragon Knight. Let's go. Okay, be seeing you, Kent. Yeah, bye, Futch. Humphrey has joined the party. Futch has joined the party. Let's go ahead and change formation. We'll move Humphrey up to the front row, and we'll move Luke to the back row. Humphrey has joined you. Futch has joined you, and we get a new trophy called a new dragon. Once we get control of our character again, we're going to head straight up and go into the inn where we can save the game after that boss fight. After that, we're going to leave the inn and then head over toward the left. We're going to go into the next house that we come to, and inside of it, on the left-hand side, is going to be Futch's mom. Let's talk to her. Oh yeah, if you want to, go ahead and take this with you. Obtained recipe number 32. We're now done with this village, so let's go ahead and leave, and we can exit out either the right side or the left side to return to the world map. From here, we're going to make our way down toward the southeast, where we're going to see a red dot on the minimap, so just follow the road down, and eventually you're going to get to the next destination. Now we can enter the Muse Matilda checkpoint, and we'll go down and talk to Miklotov. Commander Mike, are you also going to Muse? I must beg of you, will you let me accompany you? I must cross the border, but the guards know my face, thus I'm too conspicuous alone. We'll say, okay. Thank you. I swear on my honor as a knight that I will not forget this. Miklotov will join your group or party. We don't have to add him to our party, so instead we're just going to put him into our convoy. And then we'll say yes to confirm it. And we don't need to change formation. Now let's go down and continue the scene. Are you going to Muse? It's very dangerous, what with the refugee hunt that's going on now. Wait, you're Sir Miklotov. Of all the cursed. It doesn't matter what you choose, so say either pass by force or do not resist. Sir Miklotov, we have a message for you from Sir Camus. It states, don't get in over your head. You must be on some sort of secret mission, so please be careful. And now we'll keep heading down. Camus. Let's keep moving, Commander. Keep going down to exit out onto the world map, and now we have to make our way back over to Muse, which is located down toward the southeast. So just keep walking along the path, and along the way you might encounter this enemy, the Clock Knight. These guys aren't very difficult, but they do have kind of a cool move where they stop time and then attack your party members. I mean, it's not cool because we're being attacked, but it looks kind of cool all the same. So we can just get rid of these guys pretty quickly using our Unite attack and Wakabuzz White Tiger rune. These guys don't take too long to defeat, and then we'll keep moving along our way. We're going to keep heading down toward the southeast. You don't have to follow the road exactly. In fact, you can take a bit of a shortcut walking through the forest. And then eventually, as you get close enough to Muse, then a cutscene is going to kick off. That's Muse in the distance. We must be careful from here on. What the? Whoa! Look how beautiful it is! Watch their filthy souls get sucked into oblivion. What's wrong? Don't you feel the same? Weren't you also born without any legitimate blood from your father? Why do you know? Because you interest me. Your eyes are different from the eyes of those other pigs. Hatred courses just beneath the surface of my skin, and I can sense a bit of the same in you. But I'm grateful to my father for taking me in. Whoa! Sacrifice their souls! Unleash the beast of hatred! Cleanse this foul land! What the? Let's now actually go into Muse. And then we'll keep going forward to get another scene. I know it took us some time, but there's no sign of life here. Now we're going to make our way over toward the northwest corner of town, like when we were going to that hilltop summit. Help me! Stop, wait, who are you? We have no names to offer the likes of you. Oh, think you're clever, huh? Seize them! We now have a fight against 5 of these Highland soldiers, but they're pretty easy to take out. You can either use your runes and attack them normally, or you could just have Luke obliterate all of them with one of his summoning spells. So it doesn't really matter how you take them out, just take them out quickly and move on. Who are these guys? Are you okay? What happened here? Monster. A silver monster. It ate everyone alive. My wife, my kids, father, mother. All of them taken. All of them eaten alive. Hey, stay with us. Oh, Luca Blight. I cannot allow this villainy to go unpunished. Commander Mike, I'm going back to Rock Axe. I'll send those Highlanders back where they came from. There they are! Hurry, we mustn't be captured. Now we're going to make our way out of town. There are actually enemy encounters as you run through this area, so if you have to, just fight them off the same way that you did before, and then keep on going down toward the southern part of this area to exit. We now have to return to Rockaxe, which is a bit of a trip, so we're going to start by walking over toward the left side of the screen as we head toward the west, and then we'll start making our way up toward the north. We can now see that red dot on our mini-map, and we'll just kind of follow the path along up there, and eventually we're going to get back into the Muse Matilda checkpoint. From here, go forward and get another little scene. Sir Miklotov, I'm glad you were able to make it back safely. After the incident, Lord Gordeau immediately ordered us to close the border and not let anyone pass. We were quite concerned for you. I am sorry to have worried you. Let's keep going up and exit back out onto the world map. We're now going to follow the road over toward the northwest, and eventually we're going to go back toward Rockaxe and the castle. So once you get past the highway village, keep going a little bit further toward the northwest, and then straight up north and into Rockaxe. We'll go forward a couple steps, and we're going to get a scene. We managed to make it back. Yes, but the people of Muse, Commander Mike, I'm certain Lord Gordeau will understand when we inform him of the incidents. I swear Luca Blight will fall by my own two hands. Hurry, Mike, now the Knightdom of Matilda will join our side for sure. We now have to make our way back toward the castle, and that means continuing to go up toward the top of the screen and sticking over toward the left side. Now let's keep going straight ahead past the appraisal shop, and then that will take us into the area that leads us up and into the castle. So, you've returned, Miklotov. I'm glad that you are safe. Yes, I met Commander Mike on the way, and we traveled together, but never mind that. Where's Lord Gordeau? Did something happen? It's not like you to be so imperious. Oh yes, something very much happened. Well, I only learned fragments of the story, but those Highland dogs are doing something truly vile. Simmer down, a knight should know how to control his temper. But I cannot. Please step aside, Camus. This emotion cannot be controlled. Huh, what's gotten into him? Let's keep going up and into the throne room for more of the scene. Explain yourself, Miklotov. Lord Gordeau, I have a request. Please let me lead the knights, or even just my own blue knights, in an attack on Muse. Are you mad? Why would we ever do something so ludicrous? The Highland army has shown they have no desire to fight us, yet you suggest we go and pick a quarrel with them? The Highland army gathered all the people of Muse and the nearby villages, then sacrificed them in some bizarre ritual. They were massacred. We can't go on pretending to not see what's happening. What of our honor as knights? I do not know what you saw, but we knights have the responsibility of governing this land. We cannot endanger its people. There is no guarantee that Highland will leave us be for long. No, once the other city-states have fallen, I'm certain that Luca Blight will bare his fangs at us next. That is enough out of you. This massacre you're babbling about, did you actually see it with your own eyes? No, but it is a fact that they hunted down all the refugees. Silence! You speak of knight's honor. Did you not pledge an undying oath of loyalty to me, the leader of the Knights of Matilda, by that emblem on your chest? Is breaking that pledge part of a knight's honor? I did swear an oath on this emblem. That is indeed my honor as a knight. Good, then let it remain that way. Now if you're finished with this foolishness, get out of my sight. Breaking an oath of loyalty once given is the greatest shame a knight can commit. But I am a human first and a knight second. I don't need any titles. I will gladly wear this shame. But I cannot allow this to stand. I will never look idly on while lives are being extinguished so needlessly. You dare to break your solemn oath? Miklotov, get a hold of yourself. Hold steady. You're here just in time, Camus. Arrest this man. Throw him in the dungeon. Arrest Miklotov? I could never do that. What are you... I guess I have broken my oath as well. There is no reason for me now to listen to your orders. Camus. Commander Mike, please allow Miklotov and I to join the Matador army. The lowest ranks are fine. We may no longer be knights, but we still possess our hearts and our swords. Surely they will aid you. Miklotov has joined you. Camus has joined you, and we get a new trophy called a Knight's Pride. Traitors! You can't just leave! You, guards, seize them all! Quickly now! That's an order! Sir Camus, Sir Miklotov, please let me accompany you. I want to fight by your sides. What are you? Sir Miklotov, please take me too. You fools, so you've turned a handful of knights against me. What do you think that will accomplish? I am sorry, everyone. Commander Mike, we cannot remain here any longer. Let's escape the city before Gordeau summons his soldiers. Miklotov, you go with Commander Mike. I'll talk with some of the other knights and catch up to you. I should be able to convince a few more to join us. Although it does not sit well with me to counsel them towards treason. Be careful. Don't worry, I'll be along soon. Now, we must hurry. Gordeau has likely already sealed the Meuse border, so let's escape through Greenhill. Miklotov will join your group or party. Again, we don't need him to join the party directly, so we'll stick him in the convoy and say yes to confirm. And when asked to change formation, we can just say no. Good, we should be safe now. Whew, all this running away really wears me out. Sir Miklotov, they've caught up to us! What? There's too many. Seriously? Don't worry, we got this. Let's take them out. I've come to escort you home, Commander. It's Shu! Lucky us! Now we stand a fighting chance! I doubt you'll need to fight. Take a closer look at your pursuers. Sorry we're late, Miklotov. Camus, how are there so many? They share our disgust for Gordeau's methods. Nearly half of both the Red and Blue Knights have decided to join us. You must be Sir Camus and Sir Miklotov. I am Shu, the Matador Army strategist. It is a pleasure to meet you. I'm the former captain of the Blue Knights of Matilda, Miklotov. And I am Camus, the former captain of the Red Knights, now just another swordsman. The Matador Army welcomes you both. Commander Mike, we must leave this place at once. I don't know how much longer we can evade the notice of the Highland forces stationed in Greenhill. We're automatically brought back to our headquarters, and because we spent over an hour outside of the headquarters, we can do another cooking challenge. So I definitely recommend saving the game at the Traveler's Orb and then heading right for a couple screens until we can get back to Hayo's restaurant where another challenger should be awaiting us. Let's head on down and then we'll see who the challenger is this time. What? You want to have a cooking contest too? A contest? Yes, I suppose that will do. Hi-yo, defeat me and this cake recipe is yours. What should I do, Commander? Show him how good you are. Okay, a contest it is. Let me know down in the comments if you prefer me to do the voiceover all this, even though the dialogue is pretty much the same every time, or if you'd prefer me just to stick to what you need to know and get through this a little bit quicker. Hello everybody and welcome! Now let's get started with today's cook-off. I will be your host today. My name is Fu Tan Chen. First, I'd like to introduce today's panel of judges. Sir Flick is a man with good common sense. We can expect fair judging from him. When this self-proclaimed genius moved out of South Window, his neighbors finally got a full night of sleep. The inventor, Adley. Put some food in his belly and he'll be happy, I guarantee it. It's Ricky Maru. This spicy food lover likes to make his own kimchi at home. It's Sai of the Divine Spear. These 4 judges will be evaluating today's dishes. Okay, now let's introduce our challenger. Today's challenger is Chef Shiki. And now the person we've all been waiting for, our army chef, Hayo. The judgment will be based on 3 dishes. Now please take your places and get ready to cook. For the appetizer, we're going to make a familiar dish. We'll start by choosing salad, and then we're going to season it with some soy sauce to create the Island Nation salad. Then for the main course, we're going to choose buttered clams. We got this recipe when we beat the last challenger, and we're not going to season it at all, and it will just remain buttered clams. Then for the dessert, we're choosing tomato soup, and we're going to season it with salt to create a raw tomato. And this combination of Island Nation salad, buttered clams, and raw tomato should be good enough to get us the win. It looks like they're ready. Okay, go ahead and cook. Come on, everybody, let them hear it. This is just a quick reminder that the 4 judges that you get are probably going to be different than these 4 judges. That's okay though. I always choose the dishes to cook based on what is statistically the most likely to please the judges regardless of their preference. And though I can't guarantee a win, hopefully you do walk away with the victory. It looks like they've finished cooking all 3 dishes. First, let's see what our judges thought of the challenger's appetizer. Tomato juice. Okay, show us your scores. Great scores. Now let's see how they judge the champion's appetizer. Island Nation salad. Okay, show us your scores. Great scores. Next, we'll see how the judges liked the challenger's main dish. Veggie stir fry. Okay, show us your scores. Great scores. Now we'll see what they thought of the champion's main dish. Buttered clams. Okay, show us your scores. Great scores. Let's see now how the judges liked the challenger's dessert. Cake. Okay, show us your scores. Great scores. And finally, let's see how they liked the champion's dessert. Raw tomato. Okay, show us your scores. Great scores. The judging is complete. Let's see how those scores total up. And if you're paying attention, you may have noticed that all 6 dishes earned great scores. As you can see, the winner of today's cook-off is our champion, Chef Hayo. Well, I'm afraid it's time to say goodbye for now. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hey. What's so funny? Hey, something isn't right. Grab him. No, don't do it. Hey, hiding here won't help you, Hayo. The clan has already... He poisoned himself. But just who was he, and what's this clan? What was that all about, Hayo? And just like gravy, the plot thickens. Alright, with cook-off number 3 done, we're good for the next hour or so, so let's head on back over toward the left side, and we're gonna go back to that Traveler's Orb where we can save the game, and then we want to head down into the Assembly Hall to continue on with the story. Whew, I feel sort of relieved to be back here. I guess it's because this place is kind of turning into home, huh? Commander Mike, though we weren't able to form an alliance with the Matilda Knights, we did gain many new recruits. However, the Highlander army isn't just sitting idly by watching all of this. They're going to come at us again sooner or later. Allow yourself a brief rest today, for tomorrow the fight begins again. More fighting tomorrow? Well, let's just forget that for now and follow Shu's advice. I'm sure Pilika must have missed you a lot while you were gone, Mike. Let's head up toward the top of the screen, but instead of going through the big opening, we'll go through the small one with the stairs leading up. And now we'll head to the bottom right corner to go into our bedroom. We're home, Pilika. Were you a good girl? Hee hee. Hey, Mike. Pilika was hoping that just one more time, maybe one day we could... Huh? Oh, never mind. Nighty-night, Mike. An interesting idea, but what about the expeditionary force? It's not as if the entire army is loyal to me. Kiba and his son in particular support only the crown. Fumble, and our entire strategy for the city-states could come apart at the seams. I've got a plan to handle that. So you've really thought this whole thing through. When did you get so clever? I wouldn't call it clever per se, but if I couldn't figure out at least that much, it'd bring shame to the name Silverberg. I know you. You served as a military strategist in the Scarlet Moon Empire alongside Matthew Silverberg. Why are you here? Those in my profession fall by the wayside in times of peace. It is only when war looms that people remember we exist. Have it your way. Well, I leave the rest to you, my dear brother-in-law. Bwahahaha! The next morning, let's head back downstairs by going up toward the top of the screen and going through the opening in the middle, and then we'll work our way down and get a scene with Nanami. This is bad, really bad. Everyone's gathered in the hall. Nanami has joined the party. Let's head down and into the assembly hall for the scene. Commander Mike, we've received a report that seems to indicate the Highland Army has appeared in Radat. Seems to? Has it been captured? Unfortunately, we don't know that, but if they can occupy the town before the next report comes in, they're a formidable foe indeed. This doesn't sound like Solon G. My guess is that we're dealing with the third army led by Kiba and his son. Well, we aren't gonna get anywhere just gabbing about it. What do you say, Mike? Wanna go check things out with me? What are you saying, Victor? You can't ask the commander to do something so dangerous. Oh, come on, don't be such a worrywart. I'll be right there with him. It'll be good exercise. Besides, even Mike needs a change of pace every once in a while. Victor has joined the party. When the cutscene is done, we're going to leave the assembly hall and we're going to make our way down to the first floor. So either go straight ahead and use the elevator or go through the larger opening. We'll work our way down around the stairs, and now we want to go down to the lower level and we're going to stick over toward the right hand side. We'll see a woman over here. This is Vicky and she allows us to teleport around the world map. So let's quick talk to her. Huh? What? You want to teleport somewhere? Let's choose Radat Town, the fourth option. Once we're here, walk down and get a cutscene. Whoa, get a load of all these Highland soldiers. They sure locked things down quick. Guess there wasn't any uprising. We'll say, let's go inside. Alright, that's the spirit. If things get hairy, just let me handle it. So which way? We're going to head straight down toward a large crowd and we'll get another cutscene. Huh? What's that? Attention! From this day forth, this city's under rule of the Highland Kingdom. Any who disturb the peace, be they citizen or soldier, shall be punished to the fullest extent of Highland law. So does that mean our lives will be spared? They say the people of Muse were devoured by a monster. Nothing but baseless rumors. I, Kiba, promise in the name of King Agaris that no such thing will happen. Thank you. I don't care if we're dealing with Highland or the Matador army, just so long as the fighting ends. What law? That's rich coming from them. Well, at least now we know we're up against Kiba and his son. That's more than enough. Let's head back, Mike. Commander Mike? Uh-oh, did they spot us? You've got two options. If you just say, let's run for it, the scene ends. But if you say, what is it, you get some bonus dialogue. So we meet again, Commander Mike. I'm sad to say that Lord Joey isn't here. He's back in the capital, La Renière. In fact, I believe he's attending his engagement party to Julia Blight even as we speak. Mike, you may have beaten us at Two River, but this time things will not go so easily. Now, if you'll excuse me, we have much to do before the coming battle. So it's Kiba and Klaus, eh? But about Joey? Well, anyway, let's head back. Those guys mean business. We gotta be ready for them. Now it's time to make our way back to our headquarters located in the northwest. So start walking over toward the left side of the screen and then up toward the top as you go along. You can skip right over Couscous, there's no reason to go there at this point, and just then keep following the water around until you get back to your headquarters. When you get inside your headquarters, start heading over toward the main building and then make your way upstairs toward the assembly hall. Along the way, you're going to get a short scene with both Eiley and Pilika. So you made it back, eh? Well, that's good at least. Everyone's gathered in the hall. And now we'll continue along our path going upstairs. If you want to, take the elevator and choose to go to the second floor. Let's quickly save the game here before we continue on because we have a couple army battles coming up and we want them to go well. Once you're ready, head down into the assembly hall and you'll get a cutscene. Commander Mike, I'm glad to see you have returned safely. Of course he did. What with me watching his back and all. Anyway, we learned who we're up against. It's Kiba and his son Klaus. The Third Army of the Highland Kingdom, but judging by their numbers, it looks like part of the Fourth Army is with them too. This doesn't change anything. If they attack head-on, we'll meet them head-on. We'll teach them that we're no longer the same foe they faced in terms of both number of generals and quality of soldiers. So you're saying we can finally fight them on equal footing? No big strategies for us this time? Are you worried, Victor? We don't need a strategy for this battle. Commander Mike, please give the signal for our forces to deploy. Let's choose option 2. Okay, let's move out. Give the troops their orders. Well, I thought you'd be holed up in your castle, trembling like a leaf, but it seems you are brave enough to show your face after all. Good man. Father, don't underestimate him. He came out because he, too, has confidence in his strength. I wouldn't have it any other way. I love a good challenge, otherwise this can grow tedious. Listen up, you grunts. Don't think you can slack off with me just because I'm a stand-in. Are we clear? Alright, now that we have that out of the way, hold your positions. The Third Army will take the lead. Heh, finally a fight on equal footing. Just don't let it go to your head. Yeah. This is the first of 2 army battles that we have to do now, and our strategy for this one is very simple. We're just going to keep moving away from the enemies, so every single turn that you have, keep moving your forces either toward the left or up. Just keep your distance from them, and that includes the kobold soldiers that we have available to us who are on the front lines right now. Additionally, we're going to choose to wait every single turn as well. We're not going to ever engage the enemy in this battle. And that's really all there is to this battle. The fastest way to do it is just to never engage the enemy, and eventually the battle will end. Just for the sake of time from now on, I'm going to skip over all the enemies' actions and just stick to the story parts. Master Shu, I have a question regarding our troop deployment. May I speak freely? Go ahead, General Ridley. Why is it that only the kobold unit is being placed so far out in front? Decisions on where to deploy our troops are mine to make, and I expect you to follow them, General. It's our turn again, so we're going to keep moving our troops over toward the left and up toward the top of the screen. I knew we should never have allied with the humans. We needn't risk the lives of our comrades in a conflict such as this. Order all forces to retreat. Huh? Yes, General. Arf! What is the meaning of this? Oh, what do we have here? A quarrel among friends? Ha ha ha! What a bunch of buffoons! Now then, it's our turn. All forces, charge! And now Raud will begin to move his forces up toward us, but we're going to keep moving toward the upper left corner of the screen and never engage them. It's no good. We'll never hold them back without Ridley. It's only a matter of time now. We've got no choice. Commander Mike, order our troops to withdraw. What was that back there? We could have won this battle. As if we will let you escape so easily. Do not pursue them too far, Father. I recommend we regroup for now. And with that, the first battle ends as a retreat, but don't worry, we'll come back and win the second fight. What was General Ridley thinking? The faults of the Joustin army rears its head again. Heh, so much for all this big talk. Guess he got scared and ran for it, huh? Without help from True River, we can't match Kiba's strength. This is no time to criticize General Ridley. We need a strategy to defeat Kiba. Go get some rest, everyone. What comes next is my job. You should rest too, Commander. After the scene, we need to make our way back up to the bedrooms. Let's leave the assembly hall, keep going up toward the top of the screen. We're going to go through the small opening at the top with the stairs, and we're going to go upstairs. From here, we're going to go down to the bottom right corner for a scene with Eiley in our bedroom. Hey, are you okay? I heard you took a beating out there. But hey, as long as we win in the end, right? So perk up. Anyway, you should get some sleep. See ya! Julia, are you certain this is what you want? Yes, I will have him as my husband. Very well, I concede then. Princess Julia, this way please. The knight's oath is something between the knight, his king, and a single witness only. I understand. Heh. I hereby recognize you, my faithful subject Joey Atreides, as a knight in service to the Kingdom of Highland. And I, Joey Atreides, do hereby swear my eternal loyalty to King Agaris Blight of Highland with this offering of my own blood. As witness, I will test the wine of fealty. Delicious. Accept my blood as mark of my oath. Sir Joey Atreides, your blood is now added to my own. Now, as a loyal knight in service of Highland and the Blight royal family, I do bid you... King Agaris! This is... Call the royal physician! Luca, this is poison. So you really were plotting my death. But how did you... Believe me, it wasn't easy given how distrustful you are. You don't even take so much as a sip of water without having tested it first. But now I finally managed to rid myself of the last weight around my neck. You would kill your own father? Ha! You old fool, you dare call yourself my father? You couldn't protect your own wife. You're a traitor who made peace with a country of filthy criminals. What are you saying? Where were you when my mother was being violated? Who was it that fled to save his own life? Who sat trembling upon the throne while the royal guards finally came to rescue Mother and I? But enough. This is your sentence, old man. The sentence of death. All that remains is to scour the unclean ones from the face of this world. Filth must be purified, you see. Stop. Sarah wouldn't. You have no right to utter that name. Well done, Joey Atreides. This makes you the last knight to swear fealty to Agaris. And the first to break this said oath with him. Wahahahaha! I must say, though, that was a brilliant idea, drinking antitoxin and then poisoning your own blood. Father! Open your eyes, Father! Don't bother. He should be dead by now. Luca, did you do this? Why do you cry, Julia? That man wasn't even your father! Wahahahaha! Oh! Rise and shine, Commander! Well, let's head back downstairs. We have another army battle coming up in just a minute, so let's go down and save the game before we head on down into the assembly hall. Okay, everyone's here. Well, Mr. Strategist, have you come up with a plan? Apple, explain the situation. The Highland Army has left South Window and is marching on our castle. It looks like a frontal assault, just as before. Quite the single-minded guy, our Kiba. Half of our army will remain here as the main force led by Commander Mike. The other half will be divided into 4 units led by Victor, Flick, Sai, and Camus. These units will lie in wait along the right and left sides to surround Kiba once he charges straight through the middle. Even if Kiba does ignore the ambush and plunges in headlong, will we really be able to hold him off with our divided, already smaller army? Kiba and his son won't be able to defeat my plan. Talk about confidence. Well, here's to hoping this ain't a big mistake. There is nothing more to explain. Commander Mike, if all is ready, please give the signal to deploy. We're going to say, hold on a second, because there's something special that we get to do now. Please hurry. Let's go over and talk to Apple, who's standing just behind Shu. Let's put our faith in Shu, Mike. We can now assign certain soldiers under the different generals that we have, and that will give them special abilities throughout the course of the battle. Let's select one of the dash lines under the main character, and we're going to scroll down and then choose Shu to add to his unit. And then we're gonna go over and we're gonna select Humphrey, and then we'll go back up and put that where the other dash line is. So now we have a unit of the main character, Shu, and Humphrey together. We're gonna keep using the same process to add people to all of the generals. I'm just gonna skip ahead to the end where we'll explain it all together. And here's our final assignments for all of our characters. Let's zoom in a bit to have a better look. We have the main character with Shu and Humphrey. We have Victor with Apple and Miklotov. We have Gilbert with Hannah and Chaco. We have Flick with Sai and Tai Ho. We have Teresa with Nanami and Yamku. And we have Luke with Jean and Camus. These combinations give us some good abilities that we can use to our advantage in the coming battle. For instance, having Humphrey with the main character means that we can take more damage before our unit is destroyed, which is good for the main character's unit because he does healing with his runes. Pairing up Flick with Sai allows us to move around the battlefield quickly and use fire spears, which do a lot of damage. Teresa is a long-range character with a bow, so we can attack enemies from a distance, while Victor and Gilbert's units will allow them to attack close up. Finally, pairing Luke with Jean allows us to attack with very powerful magic attacks from a very long ways off. So we've got close range fighters, long range fighters, magic users, and healing all together in this unit. And it should make it pretty easy to go through this next battle as long as we stick to some pretty basic tactics. So once we're done with the setup, let's go ahead and leave out of this menu and then talk to Shu again. And this time we're going to go ahead and give the order by saying, okay, let's move out. Let's go. Victor, Flick, Sai, and Camus have finished their preparations. Commander Mike, remain where you are so we can draw Kiba in. This Mike is a brave young man indeed. Twice he has dared to face us. He is truly the son of Genkaku. Without Ridley, it seems they have little chance. But what do you think, Klaus? This is obviously an ambush. They likely have 2 units each on the right and left that will surround us once we're close enough. Then perhaps we too should divide our forces to enclose them from either side. The enemy strategist Shu has underestimated us. He believes we haven't caught on to his trap and that our forces will fall into disarray when it's sprung. This is a golden opportunity for us. Even when the ambushes appear, tell our men to ignore them and strike directly at the heart of their main force. Defeat Mike and our foes will crumble. We shall do as you say. Relay the orders to the men. Tell them to strike like the wind. Okay, we're going to hang back and watch for a bit. Mess this up and it might hurt my career too. It's time for the showdown with the Kibas. All we have to do at the beginning of the battle is just to stay right where we are and choose to wait every time. The Kibas at the bottom of the screen will start to move up toward the main character, and Raud's unit will hang tight at the top of the screen and not move at all. We're just going to hang tight in the upper left-hand corner, waiting every turn over and over while the bottom enemy marches closer to us, and eventually we'll get a scene, so I'll skip ahead to that point. Now, give the signal. Shu, isn't it still too early? It's fine. Give the signal. That's our cue. Charge! By my sword Uriah, I'll cleave our foes in two. So it was an ambush after all. Advance, pay them no mind, target their main unit. The enemy will continue to march closer to us, and we're going to change our tactics and start going on the offensive as well. However, we will not attack the Kiba unit, which is the one with the big white flag. Completely ignore them for the rest of this battle, and instead we're just going to try to take out all the other soldiers that come close to us. Victor's unit is for close range combat, so we're going to move him 1 space forward, and now he can attack the Highland Army directly. The attack is pretty effective, but we lost a fair number of soldiers on both sides. The next closest unit to us is going to be Teresa's unit, located just to the north. She has a bow, so she's able to attack at a distance, so we can move her down a little bit and attack the same enemy that Victor just attacked. Unfortunately, it wasn't very effective, and we didn't pick up any more casualties or finish this enemy off, even though it's already injured. Next, we'll have a look at Flick's unit. He also has a bow, which means we definitely do not want to face the enemy up close like this because the enemy will have an advantage. So instead, we're going to keep our distance. We could either attack from 2 spaces away, or what might be better is to use the runes option, and we can use those fire spears that we have equipped with Sai, and we're going to be able to do some decent damage to this enemy. Although it doesn't really show the battle, we're still able to attack groups up to 3 units deep, which can be very useful if the enemy's packed together. Now we'll look at Luke, who is a magic user, and because of that, he's able to attack enemies 3 spaces away, which means this melee unit has no shot whatever of getting close to us and doing any damage. However, we also didn't do a lot of damage to them either because the attack pretty much missed. Finally, let's look at our two other units. Our main character is our healer. We're going to keep him in the back row away from the enemy as best as possible. And Gilbert is going to stick right alongside of him and provide some cover for him. Kiba will keep trying to attack our main character, so Gilbert is just going to be in the way of that and make sure that our main character doesn't die. But like I said before, our main character does have Humphrey with him, so he can take more damage, and his healing abilities will allow him to stay alive just fine throughout the course of this battle. The enemy isn't panicking. We cannot hope to hold them off. They're beginning to falter. Victory is in sight, with me. Bah, it's just like I thought. Mike's gonna get swamped. Oh, don't worry, Victor will be fine. Let's move Luke a little bit. We could just keep him right here if we wanted to, or we can move him one spot forward. Either way, we're out of range of this melee enemy that Victor attacked earlier, and we're going to have Luke use his magic attack against him, and this will be enough to finish him off. Well, that's one enemy defeated. Now we're going to have Victor come down and attack the bow user. Victor's a melee character. In this game is a lot like the previous game where there's still the weapon triangle of hierarchies. So melee characters will beat bow users beat magic users, and magic users beat melee users. Now that the enemy is weakened a little bit, we can move Teresa down and attack that same enemy. It's a bow versus bow battle, but that's okay. We'll attack first, and we have enough firepower to finish them off. And that's another enemy unit defeated. And now we can take Flick and move him away from this melee enemy. We're now out of the enemy's range, but we're going to attack him with the bow user. Unfortunately, we're on the wrong side of the weapon triangle here because melee is strong against bow, so we don't really do any damage, but he doesn't do damage to us either. We're then going to move Gilbert one spot forward to block for our main character as he also moves toward our main unit. Just in case we have to do any healing, we need to be close to our other units to do that. Victor is really the only one who's injured at this point, and he's out of range, so we're just going to wait and pass our turn. The enemy was in range to attack Luke, but luckily didn't do any damage to us. The enemy then moves into position with a bow user attacking Victor's melee unit, but because we're on the good side of the triangle, we don't take any damage here. Things get a bit scary when Kiba launches an attack against Luke and takes out a lot of our army here, so now Luke is in danger, but the army foolishly decides to move up and attack Victor, and we take out many of their soldiers in retaliation. Now, crush them all! Break them up! Protect Mike! The time is right. All troops, take up arms and advance. Don't let a single Highland soldier escape. Lord Klaus, a hostile force has appeared behind us. What? I don't understand. Why are there soldiers from Two River? The plan worked. I'll leave the rest to you, Apple. Yes, sir. At this point, the rest of the battle is pretty straightforward. All we have to do is start clearing out the enemy units while ignoring Kiba. Make sure that your main character's unit stays close to your other soldiers, especially if they're injured, so that you can heal them up. Now I'm going to skip ahead to further along in the battle once the enemies have been defeated and we start marching our way over toward Raud. Just remember to keep ignoring Kiba. Even if he attacks you, don't worry about it. Just keep making your way up toward Raud until a cutscene triggers. We're being torn to pieces here. What in the blazes is the 4th Army doing? Lord Raud, General Kiba is surrounded. He needs assistance immediately. I see. Let's wait a moment longer. Haste makes waste, you know. Ah, here we are. I bring orders from His Grace Luca Blight, King of Highland. You would be well advised to follow them immediately. Yes, I will. Alright, full retreat, now. But what about General Kiba? Hold your tongue. These are orders from King Luca himself. Do you mean to disobey them? No, sir. I would never presume to. Matthew student, eh? It seems he has grown much since then. The Fourth Army retreating? I can't believe my eyes. Is this to be our fate? Father, forgive me. I have no way out of this for us. And with that, we've achieved victory. They've lost their will to fight. Accept the surrender of any who offer it. Take Kiba and Klaus into custody as well. Judging by your face, you must have won. Pilika is happy. Bogan also happy. You're okay. Are you okay? You're not hurt? Your stomach doesn't ache? Seems everything's okay. I've brought the enemy leaders. This is Kiba and this is Klaus. Gotta hand it to them. They gave us trouble right up to the end. You haven't earned the right to call me by my name, fools. Kill me and be done with it. General Kiba is a great commander, and his son Klaus has a fine mind for tactics. I suggest we free them and accept them into our ranks. We'll say, General Kiba, join forces with us, we need you. I refuse. I owe allegiance to Agaris Blight, King of Highland. To join forces with the enemy would sully my good name. We'll say the same thing again. General Kiba, join forces with us, we need you. I agree with my father. I couldn't think of raising my sword against my homeland of Highland. General Kiba, join forces with us, we need you. We've received a letter from the Highland Army. What? Read it. At once, sir. His Grace King Luca Blight of Highland offers you great praise for your performance on the field of battle. We eagerly await our next encounter. Signed, Leon Silverberg. That's all it says. Klaus, what do you make of that message? That King Agaris has been assassinated by Prince Luca. What? Klaus, don't be absurd! Princess Jillia's betrothal, the death of King Agaris, the actions of the Fourth Army. I can't think of any other reason for it all. Luca Blight does not seek a victory for Highland. No, what he wants is the life of every last soul in the city-states. It is a terrifying hunger that will consume not just the Joustin Alliance, but Highland as well. General Kiba, we ask for your help in stopping Luca Blight. Father. So be it. Commander Mike, it is a warrior's shame to change masters, but I shall accept it nevertheless. Please allow me to fight alongside you. It seems I was no match for you, Commander Mike. My abilities alone were never enough to defeat you and your impressive collection of comrades. But from this day forward, I am yours to command as well. Please use my humble skills as you see best. Kiba has joined you. Klaus has joined you. Still, Leon Silverberg, am I the one who drew him into this conflict? Shu. After a long day and a good night's rest, we wake up in our bedroom, and now we're going to head back downstairs where we can save the game. This is where we're going to end part 31. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit that like button, as it really helps me out, and consider subscribing so that you can join our amazing community and stay up to date with the rest of videos in this series. I'll see you soon in part 32. Until then, thanks for watching and have a good day.